So my name is Sultan Shakir. I am the Executive Director of Smile, and I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I also want to thank our hosts, Daniel Honeycutt and Justin Parker, who are right here, who have graciously hosted us today at their house, and who have also hosted us many times at the bar they also own, which is the Dirty Goose. They've also donated the liquor for the bar today, and so thank you, Daniel and Justin, for your generous support and long-standing support of Smile. Thanks a lot. I also want to thank our board, our major donor committee, our major donors, the staff, and the volunteers. Also, our partners who are here, particularly the Kiwanis Club. We've got Stephen and Keiko here representing the Kiwanis Club. They have generously partnered with us and offered $100,000 in multi-year support to help launch new programming that you're going to hear about. And so thank you to the Kiwanis Club for your support. I also have to put in a pitch for the brunch, which is coming back in person this year. It'll be at the Marriott Marquis. You can see one of these lovely flyers here, November 6th. Many of you may have received it in the mail. If not, you can just go to smile.org/brunch to find out all the information about the amazing brunch. And so with that, I first want to start by thanking one of our founding members of the Major Donor Club, Neil Starkey. Not only was Neil on our board, a founding member of the Major Donor Club, but he also helped us found the Youth Leadership Awards. And this year, the awards gave out, the amount of the awards this year exceeded over $100,000 for the total amount. I'm not explaining this well. If you add up all the amounts over the past year, this year we crossed the $100,000 mark. There it is. And so thank you, Neil.
But if you donate more, you have to wait 6 years to donate another $100,000.
That is right. That is right. And the reason we wanted to talk about the Leadership Awards and Neil's support is all of the work that we do is really done in partnership with our major donors and our partners. And the Youth Leadership Awards, like a lot of our work, is really about removing barriers to access for young people. And a lot of young people really struggle financially, particularly in the past few years due to COVID, with doing things like being able to pay for books or being able to travel home from college or to college. And the Youth Leadership Awards really help young people meet all those other expenses that general scholarships and typical scholarships don't meet. And so we really want to thank Neil for his longstanding support of the organization for helping launch the Youth Leadership Awards. And yesterday, we were actually doing a debrief of the awards for the past 6 years and got to hear some really amazing stories about some of the young people who've graduated since we started the awards. And Adelphi Johnson, who's our amazing Youth Development and Community Engagement Director, is going to tell you a little bit more about one of our awardees.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this way. So when I think about the work that we do and the work centered around the Youth Leadership Awards and any of the other programming we have, there's two words that come to mind for me: chosen family. And if you can think about what it means for you to have chosen family, to have folks that are able to support you, folks that you can choose to be a part of your life, that are with you through great times, that are with you through, challenging times, how instrumental that is as a part of your development. And thinking about the Youth Leadership Awards and thinking about our awardees, there's one young person that I'm thinking about who this past year, the Youth Leadership Award was a matter of if they were actually going to be able to go to school or not. They had a supportive mom, they had supportive grandparents, but there were other members of their family that were not supportive. So when it came to filling out financial aid, nah, we're not going to do that. When it came to, I need this X amount of money for school, no, I'm not going to do that. So at Smile for Summer, I actually got to meet this young person's mom, and she came to me and she was weeping. And she was weeping because she said, because of you all, because of the folks that are here, I'm able to actually take my son to Clark Atlanta University. And not only just take him to Clark Atlanta University, but as a young queer Black man, he's also now able to see that there is a chosen family of folk that are here to support him. So the work that we do, the work that you all do, we cannot do it without you all. And just thinking about what chosen family means for us, it really means that and so much more for the young people that we serve. So thank you, Neil, for being a part of the 40-some-odd YLA awardees chosen family to help make a difference in their life and as they pursue their career and their educational goals.
And with that, we'd like to present Neil with this Youth Champion Award. Thank you, Neil. I'll just Photoshop in some roses.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Up that.
Yeah, we'll Photoshop it.
And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jorge Membreño, our Director of Clinical Services. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jorge.
I bet most of you, at some point, for most of you, I think you might have joined in the COVID times where nobody hung out. But here we are. It's so great seeing all of you, and Jason's only given me 3 minutes, so I won't drop a soliloquy on you. But I just want to talk about the expansion of services in this current COVID/post-COVID world. I won't have you raise your hand, but I want you to do like a moment of self-acknowledgement of if you ever sought out a therapist and you have looked at that list of extra credit and you thought to yourself, it is really hard finding a therapist, especially a therapist who is affirming, who is going to offer me fantastic care, who is going to legitimately go above and beyond just the diagnosis, but more of the entirety of me as a being. And if you think about the impossibility of finding a therapist like that, especially during COVID times where there were wait lists upon wait lists upon wait lists, take that moment and imagine that there's a solution. And that's what we're doing this year. So we, as of this past Monday, launched our clinical services department to be able to address that issue for LGBTQ youth, because for all of them that were looking for therapy, that were looking for care, they're looking for someone to say, I adore every bit of who you are and for all of the intersections that you have, and I'm going to care for you. We launched that on Monday to be able to make that work go forward and provide that clinical care for our youth. So I feel like, and that's not all. So there is, along with that, we also know that like us being able to open that, that's not a full solution. We also need to be able to train the next field of clinicians to go out in the field and do this. And for myself as a clinician, I have to take LGBTQ cultural competency in DC as a state mandate. It's a 2-credit course, 2 hours. Doesn't have to be in person. It's the easiest course in the world. Any of us could teach it right now in our sleep. And that's a state mandate that they expect all therapists to do. We're like, no, absolutely not. That's not enough. So what we're doing is we have an internship program now at Smile as well to be able to train the next wave of clinicians to go out into the field so that when they graduate, they can say, you know what? I know I am capable of doing this. I've been trained well in doing this, and I have the skills behind me to be able to support LGBTQ youth going forward. So we're going to try to be able to solve this problem now and for the future. Now, the other thing that we're also doing is, for many of you who have known me in the past, is I was director of youth housing for a long time, and now we have a new director of youth housing, Ellie, she, her, over there. So as we are transitioning over my role from housing to clinical, there are 2 more programs that we're going to launch. Number 1, there's a rapid rehousing program. There is no direct route to sustainable independence. There are many routes to get there. And so most of you know about our transitional housing programs, our extended transitional housing program, both of them either 2 to 6 years of care. Now, rapid rehousing program is for that next level of independence. So youth have moved on from our programs, they're ready to graduate, they're ready for their own apartment, they get to their apartment and it is expensive as shit to live in DC. So what are they going to do? Well, Smile is launching a new program called Rapid Rehousing where our youth actually get to move into their own apartment. They are on the lease, they completely hold the lease, and we financially support them and help them scale along with the rent and the benefits so that they can feel like they have ownership, empowerment, and they can actually sustain that over time and it becomes theirs. So when we say, all right, this is yours, and like whenever you need us, we are right here, they get to live in that apartment for as long as they want because that lease is theirs. The second program is a Department of Health program that we're launching. We were actually approached by the Department of Health because of the work that we have been doing in this city, thanks to all of your support, the support of Smile, the support of all of the community, and being able to say, all right, Smile, please launch this program for us. And literally, Sultan and I've had a lot of nightmares about them just handing this over to us because we're experts in this at this point. But they hand this over to us because they knew like we are going to be able to do this well because of the support that we have. But this is going to be for 8 MSMs to increase PrEP adherence. That means they are tying healthcare and housing together, which we all know the 2 have always coincided together, but they are providing us funding to be able to launch that program as well, to be able to support even more youth, to increase health outcomes,
to decrease homelessness, to make the future for our LGBTQ youth significantly better than it has been, and it'll be better than it ever has been forward. After that, I'm going to pass it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Laura Frere. I use she, her pronouns, and I am one of the co-chairs of SMILE's Major Donor Committee. Unfortunately for all of you, Jason did not give me a time limit, so I feel like I'm just here to perform. Luckily, I'm not a great public speaker, so I wanted to just talk to everybody for a couple minutes tonight. I feel like everybody's feeling a little bit of this, but it has been a rough, 5 years, right? It's been pretty difficult, day in and day out, and one of the things that has helped me get through the last 5 years is this organization. So every month, Sultan sends us a really nice email to update all of the members of the Major Donor Club on what SMILE has been doing and where the programs are headed, and it really helps me. I read that email and it fills me with so much joy every month, and it just reminds me of all the great work that this organization is doing and how important it is. So with that, we are here. One of the reasons tonight, obviously, is to honor Neil and thank him so much for his generous support over the years. As Sultan explained, if it wasn't for Neil, we probably wouldn't have the youth leadership program. He kind of took that on his shoulders and did it all on his own. And tonight, we also want to thank 3 other incredibly generous major donors who stepped forward when they heard about the Kiwanis Club and all the great work that Jorge is going to be doing with the new program, the Clinical Services Program. And they said, we want to do what Neil did. We want to get this program going. So recognizing that SMILE needs to raise $100,000 to fund this program, they have offered very generously to match any donation that anybody here tonight makes or for the rest of the year, a donation of $2,500 or more. They will match each and every one up to $50,000 to allow SMILE to raise the $100,000 that they need and keep this program going. So I would like to welcome all of you to join me. I'm going to make a $5,000 donation tonight, which will be matched. And I would challenge and invite everybody here to join the Major Donor Club with a donation of $1,000 or more. Or, if you're able, the $2,500 donations is so that we can get it matched and get that clinical services program funded. There are QR codes on the tables that are around the back here, and people are walking around with these nice little donation cards. So find somebody who has a card or find a QR code, scan it with your phone, and you can make a donation that way. Obviously, you can always go to smile.org and make your donation there as well. So with that, I will turn it back to Sultan, but I hope that you will all consider making a donation tonight and make sure that you get to get those monthly emails from Sultan, because they will, I promise, make your heart feel pretty full.
Thank you, Laura. And with that, I just want to thank Daniel and Justin one more time for having us. Thank you to the staff of the Dirty Goose for helping us enjoy the night with some beverages. Thank you to the amazing staff. They actually write the emails, I don't write them. So thank you to the amazing, amazing staff. And thank you again for coming. Enjoy the rest of the evening.